Hey guys, Nuzzel here and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I don't have a versus video. Shock horror. Today I'm going to be doing what every YouTuber does whenever, they have a certain milestone or need to celebrate something, and that's taking some ideas from their fans and exploiting that for content and basically passing it off as their own. I'm going to be doing a Q&A today. And I did think about making this a facecam video until I remembered that my camera quality sucks ass, so instead you're going to have to deal with this sexy hiking gameplay in the background. I'm sure you'll enjoy it a lot. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, subscribe. I will talk more about hitting 1k later on in the video. I'll just answer the questions now. Something I should probably note first is that I probably should have made it clear that if they were going to ask me, or if any of you guys were going to ask me a question about who I think wins in a fight between the two characters, I can't really promise to answer it, because if I don't know either characters or even just one of the characters, then I'm going to have absolutely no idea. So I've made this mistake. Plenty of people have sent in their suggestions, and I, do appreciate them, sending in comments, asking questions. I think like I asked them to. But I've made this mistake, and then, I'm just gonna have to live with the consequences, which is something my dad said 17 years ago. Anyways, the first question by Dark Lord: Dan Kuzo versus Ginka Hange. If you're wondering why I completely butchered those pronunciations, it's because I do not know either character. Beyblade. Banging, just Beyblade's so fun. I've got a Beyblade in the back of my room. I haven't touched it in years, but it's childhood memories. Never watched the show though, so I apologise, but I can't really answer this question. Same with your other question, Dark Lord, Kiryu versus that name. I don't know. I apologise. Redolux, or Redolux, I don't know at this point, asks: Baki versus Goku, equalized stats, no abilities, pure martial arts. Now, I haven't fully finished Baki yet, so again, I can't answer for full certainty. The only thing I really know here is the fact that even when Goku is much weaker than his opponents, through pure martial arts, he's able to close the gap. This is shown with in the Caulifla Kale fight, where he's fatigued, and as a result, Kale Caulifla are stronger than him, but he's able to keep up through his martial arts. So I'd imagine that played a pretty big part in this, but again, I can't really answer the question. Danny asks: Grimlock from Transformers Comics versus Hulk from Marvel Comics. Who would win? Personally, I think it's a tie because I know both characters and their series. I have not seen or read Transformers. I know I should probably be put to death for this, but I really cannot answer this question either. Dragon Ball and Hokai Impact asks: Have you ever heard of Hokai Impact? And if so, can you scale the characters there? I'd like to see it. I have heard of it. I remember hearing about it in primary school a while ago, because it was popular for a year, because it was this thing that's kind of like Pokemon, but not really. But after that, I've really just never touched it. I've not even played it when it was popular. I just thought it was kind of interesting. I don't know, maybe if I pick up the games at some point, maybe I'll cover it. But beyond that, I don't really have much interest to be honest. I apologise. The Big Daddy legend himself, Pix, asks: Will you do a versus video using any Madness Combat characters? Yes, if there's a topic that I want to do. Simple as that, to be honest. Yeah. Dr. Hippo Time asks: When are you doing Frederick Fazbear versus Sans Undertale? Don't you worry, I'll cover Sir Frederick Fazbear soon. The second of Eastern Lovia versus Sans Undertale when I hit 2,000 subscribers. That's Sir Frederick Fazbear to you, Hippo. PK Shut Up, the fantastic YouTuber herself, asks: When's the FellaQuest video? I have been putting off playing FellaQuest for a long time, not because I don't want to play it, just because whenever I'm reminded of it, I am busy, and whenever I'm not busy, I'm doing something else. So I apologise, but when I eventually play FellaQuest, I promise to make a full power scaling, in-depth breakdown of the game. How would you feel about doing a cartoon versus cartoon matchup someday? Again, if I like both characters and I'm interested in the topic, I'll more than certainly cover it. I think I've been planning on Megatron versus Vilgax for a while, and I was originally going to use G1 Megatron, but we'll see. But yeah, well, I'll see. There's a few cartoons I do like, although not as many cartoon matchups per se. But yeah, again, I'll think about it. Bugs Bunny and the Iron Giant. What the fuck? Bugs Bunny and the Iron Giant versus Tom and Jerry and LeBron James from Space Jam. Who would win? I've got no idea. Tom and Jerry's based though, so I'm going to say them. GameSane asks, Kratos versus anyone you'd like. Now, there are lots of characters in fiction, so I don't think I could really come up with a solid enough answer to this question. Owen Silva asks, Kratos versus Goku. Well, I'm going to answer two questions at once here of Kratos versus Goku. It's a very debatable topic. You could argue either or winning depending on what you take for both stats. You can argue that they're both equal in speed and power, or that one's faster than the other. I haven't quite played the God of War games, so I'm probably not the best to answer this, but from what I know, Kratos should probably out-hacks Goku, although I wouldn't be surprised if Goku still won, so, good question. Again, I'm just probably not the best to answer this. Willie asks, will you make content that isn't Versus related in the future? It's funny you should ask that, because I've been kept on told to stop making this content by several people. The only sort of content I would want to do that isn't Versus related content is maybe another Evan's Adventures video. If you know what that series is, you're a true OG on the channel. It is one of my favourite series I've ever worked on, and it's not even Versus related, but beyond that I don't really have any plans to be honest. Epic Craft Mine asks, will random and fan-made verses be in future videos? Yes, or at least I certainly plan to. I have had a script ready and done for this power scaling the How Powerful is Undertale as Realistic series for ages, and in fact I remember I made the video and it was 40 minutes long, but then my editing software crashed and, I cried. I lost all that work. The motivation to then head back to if Undertale was realistic power scaling has been hampered a fair bit. With Dragon Ball Z Abridged, I also planned to make that power scaling video, and I have finished the research for that, and I've started on the script, but after binging through everything Dragon Ball Z Abridged, I've kind of lost motivation for that as well. When I get back to those two topics, I want to do them because I want to make them rather than out of obligation. So I do plan to cover those two series, but for now, I've not really got the motivation to. I do also plan to cover I don't even know what it's called. It's like Art Spear Entertainment's Superhero Bowl, talking about maybe how powerful the Oscar is, but again, not really much plans to right now, but I would certainly like to in the future. Joe Gunn asks, what is the worst matchup you've ever seen, and best matchup? We all know the best matchup is Jonathan Joestar versus John Yamcha. You cannot debate me if that one's the best matchup or not, because we already know it is, but the worst matchup I've ever seen, I've really got no idea. There's a lot of matchups that I don't like, but I don't know if I could say the worst one. Maybe, I don't know. It's probably like a joke matchup that I just do not find funny, like Peter Griffin versus Deku, that I'm just not laughing at. But beyond that, I really don't know how to answer that question. The one asks, what got you into making power scaling and versus videos? Well, I could probably talk about, inspirations, but I think everyone kind of already knows who those people are. They kind of range from between people like Seth the Programmer to Death Battle and everyone in between. I'm kind of all across the spectrum of power scaling at this point. But I remember a while ago, this was a few years ago, I remember I was very curious about who would win in a fight between Venom and Nomu, so I decided to research it, and while the research was absolutely terrible, I was very proud of myself for doing so, and because none of my friends were nerdy enough to really give a shit, basically, there was no one to really talk about it with. So I just decided, why not make it a video? And that video did well, so here we are now, all this time later. I like to think I've improved since then, I think. And yeah, this is just how we got here now. Deet Do, fantastic name by the way, I love it, asks, what is your favourite series of all time, and what's a match that you or that most people like but I don't? I did make a video on that a while ago, talking about just popular matchups I don't really like. My opinions on that have sort of changed. I have warmed up to Homelander Omni-Man a little bit, and Togetsu Rengoku a little bit as well, but generally, my opinions are still the same. Favourite series of all time is Mob Psycho, and nothing's ever probably going to change that. That's peak fiction. The Boss of Random asks, who's your biggest cartoon/game character crush? We all know it's Waluigi. Waluigi's sexy beast. Bananas asks, Jonathan Brokid soloed Steel, which makes him pretty strong, but can he beat Goku? Jonathan solos every single fiction that you could possibly ever imagine. I know, because I said so. Jonathan makes Marvel, DC, and Fate all collectively shit their pants and sheer fear at the fact that Jonathan is there. He's so powerful. Like, Jonathan's the strongest character in fiction. Plankton asks, where would you rank Mewtwo due to Rainbow Rocket and new Pokemon buff? Now, I don't really know, to be honest. I have done a wee bit of Pokemon scaling, but I mean, not a crazy amount. I'd probably say that you could scale them to like high universal, but you could probably scale them to like multiversal and beyond due to fighting Deoxys, who fought, you know, Pokemon who are often considered multiversal. But then again, I've also heard outerversal arguments for Palkia and Dialga, so you could possibly argue outerversal Mewtwo, but I mean, again, that's a topic for another day. Rosalind asks, can you measure your beard with a ruler? No, my beard is way too long for any ruler to ever measure it. PK, shut up, asks, which video you made had the most amount of salts in the comment section? Literally any of my most popular videos. Search by most viewed and you will see a lot of salt. Even if I say that the most popular character of the two wins, it's still not enough. Jonas Joestar asks, what's your favourite anime/TV show? I've already answered this. It's Mob Psycho 100. Although JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Dragon Ball run them close, along with like Naruto and Komi Can't Communicate. The Slippery Lemur asks, did you commit tax fraud in 1997? Come on, man, we weren't going to talk about that. I mean, I thought we were going to keep that secret between us, you know, your tax fraud as well. But if we're bringing it up now, we might as well talk about all the other crimes that you've done. JD asks, favourite Pokemon and favourite Marvel character? Marvel character, I mean, it's probably just like Spider-Man or something. I'm not the biggest. I mean, I do like Marvel, but I'm not like the biggest Marvel stan. My favourite Pokemon, on the other hand, is Infernape, my first ever Pokemon for my first ever video game, much less Pokemon game, from Pokemon Pearl. It's very good. Katrina asks, when are we getting the 8 subscriber special, Draw My Life? You see, the confusion here is the fact that this is my 8 subscriber special. It's just I decided to change it and not do a Draw My Life, instead do a Q&A. So, happy 8 subscribers, guys. The Boss of Random also asks, any big video for 1k? Nah, I probably won't make any videos for 1000. I'm currently celebrating 8 subscribers. You know, I'll deal with 1000 later on. Finally, Leposki asks, does Brexit mean Brexit? Yes, I think Brexit does mean Brexit. Packzilla Prime C asks, you're given 3 wishes. What do you do? Now, this question has always made me overthink it. Because how overpowered are you allowed to like make this wish? Because if you wish for more wishes, that's generally considered cheating. But like, what about the permanency or the effect of the wish? Like, if I wish for world peace, then, or I want it to last forever all across the world. Does the fact that it lasts forever and all across the world count as 2 separate wishes? Or can I just word it in a way that it makes it one? Like if I say, can I have world peace and solve all of the world's problems and, you know, forever, all across the world, would that just be considered one wish? Also, if I ask for, can I solve all the world's problems permanently, do I need to wish for anything else? Because that basically encompasses everything. Like, I don't need to wish for no world hunger, no poverty, things like that, because literally everything is dealt with then. So I've been overthinking this, and to be honest, I don't have an answer. And finally, Banana asks, what is the proudest video you've made? Or videos if you have more than one. There are quite a few. I mean, Ender Dragon versus The Wither, Speedrunner Mario versus El Hermano. Those were pretty fun to make, even if El Hermano Speedrunner Mario didn't really turn out the best. Stephen He, you know, that power scaling video was not only very fun to make, but I mean, even Stephen He himself watched it, which was pretty fun. But the video that I like the most is one that I also don't really like at the same time. It's a bit of a, contradiction. Basically, my favourite video is Infinity Ultron versus Moro. Now, not because it's right. Like, I fully disagree with what I said in that video. Like, I believe Infinity Ultron wins now, right? But the reason why I like that video so much is because of what it represents to me now. That was the first video where I saw comments from people, or at least noticed comments from people who weren't my friends, and they were complimenting it, saying, Glad to have you back, because I was on a break at the time, and, they're excited to see more. With friends, when they comment on your videos, you know that, oh, they could just be biased. They're just saying that because we're friends. Those comments made me realize that there are people who are unbiased and still enjoy what I do. And there were multiple of them. Granted, not that many, but it felt like multiple when they kept on coming in through my phone. So that type of boost to my motivation and just sheer happiness is something that was never topped or even matched until I hit 1,000 subscribers. And I don't think anything that's not a milestone could ever reach that level of just fantastic feelings I was feeling, knowing that people who were not biased or just didn't really care about me could still appreciate and say that they enjoyed my content. That touched the heart a bit. And that's the question. So 1,000 subscribers. I mean, I didn't think I'd get this far. I didn't think I'd get this far when I hit 100, much less everything else after that. What's next for the channel? Same old, isn't it? I mean, I'm just going to keep on posting like I usually do, grow the channel more and more, and I mean, yeah, I mean, here's to 2K. I didn't think I'd be saying that.